Today I would like to talk to you about the power of shift key. What I'm doing in my case here is I pulled up a few parts and I want to look at information on the methods and the components on these parts. And I did start from the part tracker to select my parts. And then I did a right click and open with method tracker to get to my first method here. But then when I go into the materials, if I want to see some more information on those parts, for example, the minimum on hand, if I right click and do open with part tracker again, it's going to give me a context call stack warning and it won't let me continue. But it says right here, if I hold down shift key and relaunch, I can get a new instance. So I want to do that. So I'm going to hold down my shift key, right click, open with part tracker. And now I have a separate part tracker window where I can go in and look at, for instance, the minimum on hand. And I can go through and click that next part, and this is going to stay in sync with the window that I was looking at. So this is updated. Now, if I want to go on to another method, I do have to close this window, but I can open up my next method. That window is now staying in sync, so I have part number 00M2 for the method. I can look at my materials, and I looked at that material already. Let me look at this one. Again, hold my shift key down, right click, open with part tracker, and I have that separate instance where I can look at the information that I want to see on here. Now, this isn't only limited to the part tracker or to your right click and open with. For example, if I've got two customers that I'm working with and I want to see the difference, let's say, between the setup on them, I can go into the customer tracker the first time. And let's look at one of our favorite customers in the test database. So I've got Dalton here. But now if I want to see that customer tracker for a different customer and compare them side by side, all I have to do is hold the shift key down and click customer tracker again. And I have my second customer tracker open. So let me just search for a customer. And let's say I want to compare it to Barriston. So I can bring that screen up. And now I can compare them side by side. So there's my Barriston, and here's my Dalton, and I can arrange them to just compare different information. Maybe I'm looking at street addresses, or maybe I want to look at what customer group, and we can compare these side by side. Now, right now I am in the classic screens. That shift key also works for your Kinetic screens. And if you are using the Kinetic browser and you always have to make that choice to use the Kinetic screen instead of the classic screens, and you want to use Kinetic, if we do settings, preferences, right now I have it formed to use as classic. And I have other options, so I can use Kinetic all the time. I can have user choice, so let me decide which screens I want to snooze. So right now I'm going to select Kinetic, and I'm going to go home here. And if I open up the part tracker, you'll notice the screens open much faster. And I'll go to the one part I was looking at, 00M1. And I'm going to go to the revision and do the open with method tracker. And when I go to my materials in here, I can hold down that shift key again and open with part tracker. I hope you find this useful. Thank you.